Over 6 years later, his murder remains unsolved.
I just lost it. I said, I want to hold my baby.
Murdered with his fiancée and teenage daughter over the weekend, is now crying out for help finding the killer.
Oklahoma City is home to over 300 gangs, with members spread across nearly every neighborhood, and from the 1980s to the 2000s, gang activity surged, turning the city into a battleground for the Bloods and Crips. This rise in violence became a major driver of crime, pulling young black men into a cycle of incarceration or death. Wanting to break that cycle, Elijah Mothershed stepped up to make a difference in his community. But when trying to do the right thing, he became a victim of the very streets he was trying to save. So welcome back to another episode of Hood 187. This is the story of Elijah Mothershed. On January 7th, 2019, at a house on North Standish Avenue, one of the coldest triple homicides in the city's history went down. Elijah Mothershed, Carnesha Powell, and her daughter Roshawna Stephens, who was just 15 years old, were at home like any other day. That's when Elijah heard a knock at the door and saw someone he recognized outside. When he opened the door, he was shot in the temple and dropped to the ground instantly. His fiancée and her daughter would then try to run, but the shooter opened fire on them too. Both were hit, shot in the head, neck, forehead, and shoulder in an execution-style killing. It is believed the entire incident happened within minutes of the first shot being fired. The killer escaped without leaving any clues about their identity. According to sources, there were no shell casings found at the crime scene, which suggests this was a planned and carefully thought out killing. Police reports suggest the shooter was someone very close to Elijah, as they entered the home as if they belonged there and didn't steal, rob, or leave behind any signs of gang affiliation. Some people think the murder might be connected to Elijah starting a medical marijuana business, but there were no signs of a robbery. There are local gangs in the area like the Bloods, Crips, and Hoovers. Even though there's no proof that gangs were involved, the killer might have been part of one of these groups. The East Side Shotgun Crips are a well-known Crip gang based around the area where the shooting took place. They have a reputation for involvement in robberies and drive-by shootings, and are considered one of the largest Crip sets in Oklahoma City, with numbers comparable to those in Los Angeles. Their main clique is known as 132, and they're recognized for wearing green flags. This is unusual for most Crip sets. They also maintain an alliance with the Hoover Criminals, forming a group known as Gunsvers or Shottyvers. The Shotgun Crips have a documented history of involvement in drug-related activity, including marijuana, crack, and meth, with several leaders and high-ranking members previously arrested on similar charges. Given their presence in the area, it's possible that Elijah may have befriended or mentored a Shotgun Crip member before that person became involved in planning a robbery. The Crips in Oklahoma are no strangers to harassing or backdooring individuals they once considered friends, especially when it benefits the gang or helps someone gain rank. The Shotgun Crips in particular have been a prominent face in Oklahoma's gang wars, especially in their long-standing feud with the North Highland Bloods. Given that history, it's possible that Elijah ended up caught in the middle, or even became a target for a backdoor move. Elijah wasn't publicly known as a gang member and had no gang ties, except in situations where he was involved in de-escalating conflicts among the Bloods and Crips. Friends and family of Elijah suggest that the killer was someone who wanted to destroy everything he had built throughout his life. But Elijah was someone who didn't deserve to be treated like this at all.
I cannot express the horror of this year.
She keeps a memorial to her son in her living room, the dead flowers from his funeral, symbolic of a life cut short.
So many things came up that only he could answer. And we were best friends too. His phone calls, his presence. Mommy, how are you feeling? What do you need, Mommy?
I don't care who was involved, if it was somebody that we know, someone we connected to, even if it's a blood relative, friend, or whatever. If you would step over my dead brother's body, you care about no one, and I don't care about you.
Elijah was born on April 15, 1974. He grew up in Oklahoma during the 1980s, a time when gangs were spreading fast. Elijah saw how this affected the black community. Many kids were left on their own because their parents had become drug users or dealers during the drug epidemic that hit the state. This had always been something that Elijah wanted to help fix, so he became a dedicated community leader and mentor who was committed to uplifting at-risk youth, especially young black men. What made Elijah different is that he understood the challenges many of them faced: poverty, lack of positive role models, and the constant pull of street life, and made it his mission to offer them a different path. One of his most impactful efforts was creating Man 101. This was a nonprofit organization designed to guide young men through mentorship, life skills, and personal development. Through this program, Elijah worked to instill responsibility, self-respect, and dignity in young men who needed guidance. He used creative tools like chess to teach critical thinking and decision making, helping them develop the skills to navigate life more effectively and with purpose. He was also a hands-on community activist who believed that change came from within. He helped launch the Oklahoma City chapter of the Guardian Angels, a volunteer-based group known for patrolling neighborhoods unarmed to prevent crime and build trust. Elijah would often meet with local gang members in an effort to diffuse any tension and prevent gang activity from escalating in the streets. Elijah always approached them with respect, not in a soft or fearful way, but as a man. He often organized community cleanups, murals, and music events across the Northeast. Elijah was also an entrepreneur. He opened Cannabis Aid, a medical marijuana dispensary on Northeast 23rd Street. But to him, it was more than just a business. It was a statement. He wanted to show others that it was possible to succeed legally and ethically, even in industries where black ownership is often rare. Cannabis Aid became a platform for economic opportunity, community education, and advocacy for responsible cannabis use. Elijah was more than just a mentor or businessman. He was a man who truly cared about his community. Because of that, many people believe the Oklahoma City Police Department was involved in his death. A lot of people in the streets think the police didn't want to see a black man helping and improving the community, so they got rid of him. But those are just rumors. His case is still unsolved, and it's possible that the person responsible could have been someone he was helping, or even a family member. There have been no public breakthroughs or arrests in the triple homicide of Elijah, his fiancée, and her daughter. According to a recent report, more than 6 years after the crime, the Oklahoma City Police continue to investigate, but no suspects have been named and no arrests have been made. The NAACP would also urge people to come forward.
There may be somebody out in the audience that knows about this right here.
Calling for justice. Somebody knows what happened and what took place, and we need them to come, somebody to drop a dime, put that in motion to help bring justice to the community as well as the world.
But out of fear of retaliation, no one has spoken up. Elijah was a true leader who will always be remembered for putting others before himself.
If I cried, he wiped my tears. If I was happy, he laughed with me.
Wanted to make sure that younger men stayed out of trouble, were in the right direction, and also was a good role model for them as well.
You felt his enthusiasm, you felt his commitment to the community.
No, Elijah was a close friend of mine. Just a few days ago, he told me he was trying to save up money to send his 83-year-old mother to Africa before she died.
I just lost it. I said I want to hold my baby while he was dying. My son's mission in life was to uplift men, poor people, and his family and his community.
Thanks for watching another episode of Hood 187. If you have any tips or information about Elijah, please contact the Oklahoma City Police Department. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and share it.